turn it loose. Question for Coach.
William, just what are you comfortable sharing just about what your week has gone?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit eventful, obviously, and I just first of all want to thank the people, treatment staff here, athletic department, everybody for their support at the hospital, just acting quickly, and there's not a ton I remember from the situation, but just probably need to sleep better, need to eat better, need to be a better version of myself in terms of doing the things that we ask our players to do from a health standpoint and those things. And I think it was a good wake-up call, which is probably a good thing at the end of the day. But again, I can't thank enough BBN, the support, the people, outreach. That was really cool. It was really cool to be at a place that you could tell actually does care, and I appreciate that. My family appreciates that, and that's really it.
When did you get the clear to coach this week?
Yesterday. I mean, I was back out here yesterday, and we woke up Monday morning pretty good. 8 a.m. feeling ready to go, iPad in hand. So, just one of those things, kind of a freak thing, and feel really good right now. Just trying to take it a little bit easier. Maybe it's good for my life moving forward that I just kind of chill out a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I appreciate everybody's support and care and concern, but I'm here and I'm good.
Can you actually be chill during a game?
Yeah, that's the weird part, man. I am actually probably at my calmest throughout a week during the game. That's I don't know if you were one of our players that you would think that I'm a basket case on game day. You try not to be, because ultimately our job as coaches on Saturday is to try to be a caddy and try to be a next shot mentality, next play mentality. How do we move on from good, bad, ugly, whatever it was? And so I've always felt pretty good about where I lie on Saturdays. And maybe some of the other days of the week maybe aren't the same, but no, I feel great, and the support has been phenomenal.
How's it been being around the guys and the coaches? We saw Mark kind of get emotional Monday for the first time in years. Just how's it been being back around the guys?
Great.
And the support you got from those?
Awesome, man. I mean, not to say I came back here in order to, fall out, but I came back here in order to be around people that care and to be around a community that cares. And the players, the staff, family, friends, all that. I mean, this has been difficult, but it's also been eye-opening in a lot of ways as to, you ended up making the right decision to come back to a place that people do care about you. And that's been really cool.
So was the film from the EKU game really that bad?
Yeah, there was parts, man. There was parts. The first half, yeah. It's just like Coach Stoops echoing his, some of his points that he made to our team is just, man, the consistency, right? I mean, you aren't going to walk out and beat anybody when you don't do anything consistently. And we go out, first drive of the game, 3rd and 1, we go to quarterback sneak and we jump off sides. I mean, it's just how it works. It's just how it works. You go 3rd and 6. I don't care. Yeah, we'd love to be able to convert 3rd and 6, but we didn't. So we're punting on the first drive of the game. And those kind of little things were a little bit of the theme of the first half. And then you go towards the end of the first half and you hit the explosive off the sudden change, and you rattle off four straight scoring drives, and we look like an operation. So how do we get to that point earlier in the game is the key. How do we get to a place of consistency, rhythm, quarterback's in a comfortable place, we're protecting, we're making plays earlier on in the game so that we don't, against some other teams, dig ourselves in too big of a hole that we can't come back from.
After watching the film, is there a certain thing that you guys kind of want to hone in on in practice this week?
Again, we had some, a couple protection issues in communication, specifically on 3rd and 4th down situations that we cannot have. The quarterback being on the same page with everybody, receivers, tight ends, running backs, O-line, he has to completely own everything, and I can be better. I can be better for these kids. I can be better for the staff in terms of when I call something, when we call it, what's the intent behind it, how do we really slow down and detail up every play, and not maybe a little bit less volume in some ways, and just let these kids go play, let them have fun, go play free, and that's probably the message that we looked at off the film.
Liam, when Devin struggles, Is it mechanics? Is it miscommunication?
Yeah.
Combination of everything?
I think a little bit mechanically at times, where when you see his feet being really good rhythm, slow rhythm, not big hitches. He's not what we talk about coming off the mound. You know, like coming off the mound to make a throw. You know, just stay nice, tight, compact. You're extremely talented. You have an extremely talented arm, mechanics, everything of that stuff is really clean. You don't need to forcibly push your whole body into many throws. And when he has missed some high and away, we've noticed a little bit of a trend to that, to try to just, hey man, let's keep everything nice and quiet, nice and calm at the top of your drop. That's going to be a consistent theme that we work on probably throughout the whole season.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Liam, did you ever had anything like this happen before?
Never in my entire life. No, never in my entire life. I mean, I've been messed up from, get my wisdom teeth taken out before. But that was about it. That's about it.
Coach, talk about just what you guys were doing in practice. There was a few drops last week, and that's kind of uncharacteristic from some of the guys that it happened with. Is that just what was that? That's
focus, that's concentration, that's detail, that's a lot of things that we're trying to preach right now. It's not just about the physical reaction of not catching the football. Well, how was the route? How was your stance? How was your start? What was your mindset going into the play? Were you even thinking about the play, or were you just thinking about your route? What was the coverage? Did you have your eyes up? Did you see the coverage? There's a lot of things that go into just running a route that ultimately, some of these young guys, we have to get to that point. Are we there yet? No, we're not there yet. But that's the point that we'd like to get to, because then we're all on truly the same page from a chemistry standpoint, what we're seeing, how we're seeing the field. And so those things don't happen, you know, because if they happen during the week, they're typically going to show up on Saturday. And that's the message as well of these guys, is it's not going to just happen. You know, if you don't make the play during the week, it's really hard for us to trust that it's going to happen on Saturday. So we need that belief. We need to put that time in, that work in, and the detail in order for us to trust that it's going to show up on Saturday.
Liam, Mark talked a little bit on Monday about tempo and that sort of.
Yeah,
do you
man.
think when you eliminate some of the mistakes and the self-inflicted stuff, does the operation look faster when?
I think it would, you know, when you're not going backwards. And I think that we do need to play with some more tempo. You know, whether it's off an earned first down, be able to go and get enough. It's not even just about, it's about plays at this point. I mean, I didn't probably think that it would hurt us this much in terms of the amount of plays we're able to get off at times, in terms of the clock, the running clock, and things like that. And when you're wasting some possessions early on, well, man, I don't want to just go tempo when we didn't score 4 times in a row when we touched the ball. I'm trying to settle the guys in and ultimately give us a better chance to execute. But I do think that there's a place in time for a little bit more tempo, just to try to let us run more plays. And I think staying in one personnel grouping maybe a little bit longer. You know, we're constantly trying to get people involved, and mix personnel almost every play. Well, that also slows down the operation. So we can play with tempo without going no huddle by just staying in a personnel grouping for more than a play at a time, and letting the guys settle in, let them play a little bit more within that personnel grouping. That'll also allow us to get more comfortable and play with a little bit more tempo.
Liam, this is your last non-conference game before you start.
Last question.
Obviously. Is there an added level of importance to this one to get things cleaned up this week?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think there's definitely a little bit more of a sense of urgency. You know, we'd like to be able to get some of the early miscues and early mishaps and whatever it is out of the way. Is it going to just go away? I can't say that. I remember 2 years ago we go out, beat ULM, play a great game against Missouri, and then almost lose to Chattanooga. So I don't know if it ever truly goes away, but it's a week by week deal that we cannot allow to remain consistent. Will it creep up at some point? I don't know. But I do believe that we have the kids, the right mentality, the right kids in this locker room that aren't going to allow it to become a habit.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.